and welcome to my channel, Denver Crafting Post. My name is Diane. Again, welcome to my channel. So I wanted to start off by introducing myself and telling you who I am, why I made my way here to the resin community, and what I'm looking forward to creating. I joined the Air Force after high school and I met my husband a couple of months later. They said it would never last because we were in tech school, but we had an amazing life together. True soulmates, doing everything and every part of life together. We had 3 amazing kids. My birthday is March 12th, and my middle child's birthday is March 13th. And on the 14th of March, 2022, my youngest son, for 24 years, passed away in an auto accident on his way to playing golf about a mile away from our home. So March is a very emotional time for me. Then about 3 months after my son passed away, my husband was diagnosed with recurrent stage 4 bladder cancer. He was actually declared cured for 10 years prior, so we were in shock when we found out. At first, he didn't want to fight it. He said if he ever had cancer again, he would not fight it. But since my son lost his life and I was struggling, he decided he would. So he fought it, putting his body through hell because doctors said they expected a remission after he completed his last round of radiation, which was June 21st of 2024. So the timing was actually right to move from Las Vegas to Denver, where my other 2 kids were living, so we can be closer to them. My oldest son had moved from Aspen to help care for his dad, but wanted to move to Denver instead of going back to Aspen. So in the June, we moved and we were all together again. We were told after my husband's last session of radiation, we had to wait 3 months for full effects, and then we can do another PET scan. So I scheduled his PET scans and the doctor's appointments around that time frame. Again, we were expecting a full remission when we left Las Vegas, and moving to Denver, Colorado was supposed to be a new start for us. The PET scan came back and it had spread to his brain and more areas in the body. We were in utter shock. Doctors were still being optimistic, so we started a treatment plan again. He did radiation in the brain and he did his first round of chemo. At the end of September, he ended up in the hospital because he fell and was like dead weight. Again, doctors were being optimistic and we were thinking that he was beating this. Ended up beating us in November of 2024. I lost my soulmate and I have been lost without him. I was blessed to have him for an additional 12 years after his first diagnosis of cancer. And he said if I had cancer and if it came back, he would choose to let it happen. He was done fighting and he lost enough of himself with the first round of treatments. I accepted this as his choice and I understood. I didn't want it, but I knew it wasn't my call to make. Again, however, after losing my son, Michael saw the pain and he couldn't put me through any more of the devastation of losing him too. So he fought for me and the kids. I became an honorary doctor because I was in the administration side of healthcare, but now I was his advocate because so many things were done wrong and not processed correctly. So I was constantly on top of his care, battling for proper care for 12 years. Everyone knew who I was and knew to get the job done or I was coming in and I was calling. So that's me. Next part of my life is why I'm here. After my son passed away, I had a mental breakdown because I worked at a cancer center and I was scheduling a 24-year-old girl with my breast um, my breast surgeon that I worked for because she had cancer. She didn't know because her doctor didn't tell her. So when I called her and she didn't want to schedule, I had to get creative because I couldn't inform her of her diagnosis. It was a struggle because Michael was just diagnosed a week earlier. After that call, I got up from my desk and walked away. My mental health was in a really bad state. I went to a therapist, and after a few sessions, she told me to get a hobby. I couldn't get out of bed, so finding a hobby was not in my plan. My daughter had moved up her wedding, so her dad was able to walk her down the aisle. Afterwards, she wanted to preserve her bouquet. Yep, you were thinking of it. She bought me the resin and the mold. It took me a few months, but we did it together. Then I remembered my therapist saying, get a hobby. Well, now I'm here a few years later and only poured a few times, but my shopping for molds, pigments, glitters, embellishments, everything under the sun is amazing. My hobby was shopping for it all. I have so much stuff, just don't have the desire to do anything. I will struggle every day, so this will be a rough start, but I want to try. I want to have a channel, so if something comes out great, I can watch and see what I did, because my mind is old and, to be honest, still in shock that this is where I'm at today. If you're still here, if you would like to join me in this journey, please subscribe to help me grow and to reach more people who may be interested as well. Now on to actual video creating for some resin art and laser pieces. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Okay, that took quite a few times to tape because that was hard to get through. But I felt it was important for me to tell people who I am and why I'm here so that you understand what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do. Um, I am I do want to create things with resin. My ultimate goal is to create keepsakes for people. I do have a Cricut. I have not used a Cricut, and I do have a P2S laser. I want to combine the lasers with resin work and create keepsakes for people so they have a keepsake of somebody who they might have lost along the way, and just to keep them alive in their home. Like for Christmas, I made a few ornaments for my husband and my son. And my dad passed away, a while ago, and I didn't do anything for him as a keepsake. So I would like to start doing things for, an ornament or just a picture frame. I created some picture frames for my husband for his celebration of life, and I really got pleasure out of doing that. And then I created some wood pieces. I have less than 5 hours on my laser, so it's not like I've been doing it for very long or anything like that. But that's my ultimate ambition, is to combine laser work with resin work and create something special. Now, along the way, I will make different molds that I have bought throughout the last 2 years, because I have every single mold that has probably been shown on camera. Most of them I own. I own every ink, every glitter. I mean, I have so much stuff. So at the end of this, I will show you my little setup, as well as a couple of the projects that I did that are inspiring me to create things. So I hope that you will join me in my endeavor and help me get word out of what I'm trying to do.
so that I can help others along the way. And also, if anybody would ever want to reach out to me, my door is always open. I know the struggles are real, losing a child, losing your spouse. I know was married for 36 years, but just that complete loss of that soulmate in your life is really tough. So I will always talk about Nico and Michael because they are still a part of me. I wear them every day. I wear my son. We got a golf bag and put his ashes in. And then my husband has my heart. So we have his ashes in my heart. And I wear these 24/7. They don't come off. So, and then I also have my angel. So they're always a part of me. So I'll always continue to talk about them. Um, Michael and Nico will forever live in my heart. Again, thank you for joining me, and here are a few things that I have done, and hopefully I'll be creating a lot more. My goal is to create something once a week right now because it's a chore to get up and do anything. So no promises, but I am going to try.
So, with that being said, um, thank you for meeting me, and I look forward to creating more videos and creating new friends in this resin space. And thank you for taking the time to come and watch this video. Thank you very much, and stay tuned for the next video. I promise it'll be a lot more cheerful than this one. Okay, so a little quick tour of my little craft room. So over here I have my pressure pot and the air purifier. Got my glues, my cups. I have a little desk that I can stand at or sit at. It's a rising one. Underneath I have a toolbox that I can put different size molds in. I have some Nicole molds. I work off of an iMac. Over here I have jewelry hardware. I have UV jewelry molds, rhinestones, UV resin, some embellishments. So over here I have a whole bunch of different inks, the resin inks, the alcohol inks, the resin art inks. I've got glitter pigments. I have the Pigmently. I have resin tints. And then I have resin tones as well as acrylic inks. I have all of my glitters. And then I have my stones as well. I have the whole kit for the resin art dyes and the Kemenskaya inks. I have my little mixer, some tools. And I have over here my pump, some pastes, and a little bit more glitters, some gold leafing stuff, and then all of my Into resin molds go up there. I have some powders, some pigment pastes, my sander, a little purifier. Then I have some more molds down in there. And this little desk I put it on so it attaches. I have some more workspace. Under there I've got some more resin, some more molds that I have, some just miscellaneous stuff that I just shove under there. Sorry about my fingers. Here is my P2S X-Tool laser. I got a big mold. I think it's like 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet. Underneath I have all of my good molds from various different places, molds and shapes. Julie's molds are down there. My air purifier for the X-Tool. I have my bubble remover. And then I have that for small molds and various things. I have my mica powders, little hand washer. I've got some tools that I keep on the back of the door and miscellaneous stuff. Some resin over here. Then in my closet, I have more micas and things, glues, embellishments, some more smaller molds, extra inks, some laser stuff. I have every single letter in the 12-inch molds, and I have my molds that are stored in here, all separated according to the type so they don't get dusty. This is where I keep my cups, my gloves, all my silicone stuff, some bowls, some sticks, some tumblers, just some craft stuff. Down here I have a whole bunch of resin in there. Then over here I have an area for all of my different paints. I have a drawer full of jewelry stuff, some jewelry molds, keychains. Down here I have some more molds. So my little craft space, a little bit messy. Oh, up top here is all of my acrylic and wood. And I even have cardstock paper for the Cricut that I have down there, which I gotta learn how to use. I used it a long time ago, but I completely forgot how. But my little craft room.